It must be the mic.
Oh,
Let me
okay.
just
We
switch
are
this.
live. Guess what? We're going to do that intro theme. Welcome to another edition of the Willie Bragg Show. I'm your host, Willie Bragg. I want to apologize from the start because we had a little bit of a delay, a StreamYard's technical glitch that Jamar and myself were not expecting. But anyway, the important thing is we are now live. So I hope everybody's doing well. How are you doing, Jamar?
Very well. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Not bad, not bad. Got to go to work tonight, unfortunately, but that's the story
Yep.
of my life. Retirement's a couple
Good.
of years away, so I had to
That's
keep
good.
my eye on the prize.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So how about yourself? How's life treating you?
A lot of moving around. Very crazy. Not currently where my house is at right now. About to leave. Just moving around. We're looking for apartments and trying to relocate and stuff. So a lot of shit going on, but we're here.
All right. Well, good luck in your moving endeavors. I can't wait to move out of Central North Carolina myself. I've been planning for years. I'm still trying to decide where I'll ultimately retire to. But until then,
Mm,
we got rural problems to solve, and we got U.S. domestic politics to talk about.
yes.
So I guess we'll start with Michigan and Washington State. And I guess we'll start, if it's okay, we'll start with Michigan because, as you know, last week Abdul El Sayed defeated Meatloaf. I meant to say Lily Stevens. So, you have any thoughts on that?
I mean, listen, oh my god, dude. What really like besides the fact that she has a track record of just always staying with the with the system line and stuff. She also last voted to in the house to integrate, the integrate with Israel. It was one of those bills they tried to sneak by. She got APAC money, all this stuff, and she really thought black people was going to save her. Like it's honestly ridiculous. every single
Yeah,
ad,
having James
every
Clyde.
single ad had black people. Oh my god, too much. Oh, Bob endorsed me, and he actually did it. Or gave you a shout. It was a lot. It was too much.
Yeah, having James Clydell, um, endorsing her.
Yeah,
She's a
that
terrible
too. Yep.
candidate at that point.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
he's basically just South Carolina's Debbie Wasserman Schultz. That's what he is. So
Basically.
that's not a compliment to be compared to Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
Yeah.
No, so and we're talking about somebody. Well, I want to share this and get your thoughts on it. So let me go ahead and share this clip here with you. It's like 23 seconds, but I think we're headed for. We need a good laugh. So let me go ahead and play this clip. Let me find that clip where it right there it is.
And in the United States Congress, I will continue to fight for the people of Israel. I will continue to fight for Israel's existence. Israel comes to me in my dreams. I see Israel's future, and I know that Israel will continue to exist for the Jewish people.
Well, I saw that. I was like, that's some creepy dispensational shit if I ever heard it coming from a supposed Democrats. What's your thought on that?
That's exactly what she's just a Zionist shield, and it's really annoying.
Yeah, yeah.
And the fact that she thought she was going to look. Don't get me wrong, the election was close, which is problematic. But look, when it comes to El Said, oh God, did I say his name correct? Abdul El Said, right?
That's how I say it. I think it's correct.
Yep. When it comes to him, he's not the perfect candidate. We get it. You know what I mean? He has a lot of good stances that are similar to the popular what we are looking for as working people. You know what I mean? But we know that his stance on Ukraine is problematic, and he has criticism. But the fact that she thought that she was going to win while being APAC shield, you know what I mean? It was just amazing to me. At first I thought she was going to win because I felt like maybe they got something there. You don't know with these elections, and it was very close. But now it's just a breath of fresh air at this point. It's like, okay, good.
I was happy to see him defeat her because, I mean, you're right about Michigan because Michigan is, it's a highly populated Arab state, Muslim Arabs, Christian Arabs, and they kind of have the same position on Israel that what Israel with their actions kind of sucks for both groups. And so yeah, they just like in 2024, I think that Michigan went to Trump because people sat out that election because Kamala Harris decided that she wanted to be a Zionist and all of that, and it hurt her in Michigan. I mean, I don't know if that would have won her over on the election, but it certainly didn't help her position on Israel and all of that. And having John Hagee wearing a wig, like we just saw, that was just repulsive. Just hearing what she says,
Right.
No, I mean, it's like you're insulting to Jewish people. To tell you the truth, I mean that's sounding like It sounds like that version of political correctness too.
Yes.
So, yeah. So
no,
yeah.
It's this is like unserious. Like these are just like literally out in the open puppets, basically. Like it used to be back in the day where you don't really know much on how much of a puppets they are because they were able to, have better ways of keeping it hidden. But now they're just all out, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I am what you say I am, and I don't care because I'm getting money. So what you want me to do about it? Honestly, that's how they are. It's literally how they are. Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
timer. What? Just 1 second. Sorry.
No problem. Well, I will say this. Yeah, as I said, I was delighted to see her, Haley Stevens, defeated and all that. So we'll see. I mean, I'm definitely going to be discussing this Michigan race.
I apologize. I heard something burning for a second. Not
No
heard.
problem.
Smelt.
I'm just telling everybody I'm going to keep
My nose deceives me.
I'm just telling everybody that I'm going to keep talking about this race until November, pretty much is what I was trying to say. And the thing is that his position on Ukraine is kind of disappointing. It's not kind of, it is. I mean, because, weirdly enough, I mean, support for the Ukraine cause is, whether some people are anti-Zionist or not, it is indirectly still contributing to Zionism. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just, that's the dirty little secret people needs to know. And it's not that I
And they
root
have
for
to
Russia
understand that.
in that conflict, but
Right. No,
Ukraine is,
no one was agreeing. No one agreed with the invasion, really.
yeah.
No one wanted that at all.
Nobody wanted it, but it's NATO's fault for having all these countries join them in the 1990s and early 2000s. Even George Herbert Walker Bush and James Baker, with all their faults, promised the Soviet Union, hey, East Germany incorporating themselves into West Germany, that's as far as NATO go. We're not going to go any further. That was a reasonable position, but by little, they just all started joining NATO, and that's really stepping on their toes to have Ukraine up there. And
this is very simple information that people like to refuse. Like even like the Palestinian question, where should they have the right to defend themselves, is literally embedded in the law. Being occupied, they have the right to defend themselves. Like these are simple things that people come to understanding with, but they just choose not to. It's not the popular opinion, honestly. Like, and that's my issue with El Sayed. I just suspect that out of him when he goes, because he's definitely going to beat that Republican. No way in hell he's going to lose. If he does, I'll be surprised. But when he gets into office, I just suspect, the same standard in a way. Really, nothing really different, but he's not a Zionist, which is good.
Yes, is good. And hopefully he will not turn into AOC, which AOC used to be sort of, I would guess, softly anti-Zionist, but now she's softly Zionist now. So, and I hope to not see him turn into AOC in that regard. Bernie, it's what he grew up with. He's in that age group where even segments of the left had embraced it. So, I mean, you can almost understand it coming from Bernie, even though he's wrong. He's wrong, and he comes to terms with it. But I just hope that Abdul El Sayed will not turn into AOC on that question. So,
Oh yeah. I don't think he will though. His constituents will go crazy on him.
That is a very good point right there. That is a very good,
especially in Dearborn, Michigan areas. Definitely.
I think that he being held to account will be more the case than, let's say, a lot of progressives who are happy with an AOC win or a Bernie win in the Senate, AOC win in the House, and they're like, well, we got one of our own in there, and maybe if we are patient enough, maybe by the year 2081, we'll have a public option. I hope that that's not going to be, and I don't think it's going to be the case, like you said, with Abdul El Sayed and all that. So, what's your take on the recent wave of democratic socialists, particularly from DSA, just kind of winning around the country, these primaries and all of that? You think that the late Michael Harrington's dream of this takeover of the Democratic Party, like he kind of envisioned a long time ago? You and I have been members of DSA in the past, so we know the history. Michael Harrington wanted the Democratic Party to become a Labor Party.
Wait, who? No, I've never been a DSA member.
I thought you were a DSA member.
No.
Oh, okay. My apologies.
It's all right. No, I asked with them. We have organized together.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought you'd been a DSA member. Well, I used to be a DSA member, and I did not renew my membership because I was trying to form a local in North Carolina in 2007, and the national director, Frank Llewellyn, at that time, he was discouraging locals from being created. So that's what it came down to. And I just like, okay, you don't want to do it, whatever. And I got kind of burnt out in politics for a while, but I eventually got back into it again. But that's just my little personal story there. But
Well,
DSA turning the Democrats into the Labor Party. What do you think of that vision?
yeah. I think it's a step forward. Honestly, I think it's a good step forward. It's a good thing to celebrate. Um, Madani's not perfect, but he is way better than what they have had ever, really. At this point, um,
Yes,
um,
absolutely.
I feel that the DSA needs to two things. They need to get more people of color, and they also need to get more people, more working people, more organizers with them that are older, because we still have to talk about what people that are in their 50s, 60s, and up, what they need as well too. I love the youngness. I love how it's a young party. Um, I mean, it's a branch of the DNC, but they scared the hell out of these DNC establishment people, which is good. They're making it very unpopular to be a corporate Democrat at this point, and I'm very happy that they're doing that. Um, I do have issues with them on Shama Shawant. I felt that they should have endorsed her because Shama Shawant is a DSA member,
Yes, she is.
and they put that Republican, knowing that he wasn't going to win, to get in the way of her getting votes. And then there was another Democrat, I can't even think of the name, that was running against Smith, which that was definitely to hinder her from getting votes. And she still pulled 16%. She still did very, very well. If these other three politicians wasn't involved, that was between her and Smith, she probably would have won. So how the Democrats like to blame the third party, like how they did with Jill Stein and stuff like that. Oh, you guys were just in the way, like you stole votes and all that stuff. You stole votes from Shama Shawant. You stole votes from Shama Shawant. She was the most qualified, had a track record of winning. She did a lot for working people, and it's really sad and disgraceful, quite frankly, that the DSA and the Democrats as a whole, sabotaged. I blame the DSA because they should have endorsed her and they did not. But other than that, that's the criticism I have for them right now. Shama Sawant's manager was on my show, her campaign manager, M. Smith, I believe her name. It was a minute ago. She was a great guest, and she was a great, knowledgeable understanding of policies and everything. She had no issue with answering any questions that we threw at her. I'm very upset. I know Shama Shawant will be on my show one day as well too. So I just want to make sure if she sees this as well, that you were blackballed and you should run again.
I
You
agree.
should run again. And
Yeah,
you need to get the DSA over there in Seattle shit together, because that's crazy. You more successful than any of them in that area, and yet they couldn't come through for you. Crazy.
No, I totally agree. And think about Shama Sawant is not only did she have a Democrat that was a lesser known person that took votes away, there was a candidate from the Socialist Workers Party that ran out there, and I'm thinking to
Right.
myself, what the fuck is this?
They had similar platforms. That's what really pissed me off.
And the thing is, if the Socialist Workers Party were truly a Trotskyist organization, they need to realize Shama Sawant is a Trotskyist. I mean,
Right.
I mean, I'm an independent socialist that like her, from my little Eugene Debs niche of ideology, but she and for lefty Democrats who are DSA aligned not to support her, that's even less understandable, because nobody's, if you're on the left, you're not going to vote for the Republican. And you got Adam
Right.
Smith, the man who authored legislation to merge the U.S. military and and intelligence with the Israeli military and intelligence. And I want to make it clear, I'm not exactly what you call America first, and I'm not exactly what you call a patriotic person, but that's fucking treason to merge the U.S. military and intelligence with a foreign government. And I mean, I would feel this way if it was Norway. That's one of the kinder countries in the world. But my point being is that there was no reason for left-wing Democrats who wear a socialist label to not support Shama Sawant. I mean, that was her election to win, and
total failure.
It was absolutely just. I was really offended to find this out. And let me share this video here because I've been kind of wanting to share this. Let me find it. Okay. Let's share. Let's see here. Well, let me hold on a second. For some reason, I was trying to share a video. Share screen. There we go. That's it. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
All right quick.
Oh, look at Cornell.
Your sister's been a freedom fighter in the long distance runner, and I've been with her, especially with the working class. And the important thing is we got to push these milquetoast neoliberals out of office. The way she did at the city council, now she's moving to a whole new level. Stay strong, my dear.
Thank you so much. And Dr. West, thank you for supporting our $15 minimum wage struggle.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, man.
Yeah.
Cornell could get together. He makes me mad about Iran, but other than that, he could get together, And it's only because his wife is Iranian and she's on that weird side on believing in the Shah and all that nonsense. But it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, well,
Cornell did better than the DNC. That's DNC. The DSA.
He's not perfect, but there's no perfect candidate. There's not a perfect candidate anywhere. There's no ideal candidate anywhere. But but with Shama Sawant, there was no reason to.
No reason.
Yeah, and even Breaking Points, I think it was Breaking Points, or that they were reluctant to interview her. I'm just like that's
right.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy when you can't get Sam Cedar or Kyle or even fucking David Pakman. I mean, as pathetic as he is, you can't get them to put in a positive blurb about Shama Sawant that. When it comes right down to it, on probably a good 70 to 80%, they're going to agree on things like Medicare for all and expanding unions and the class reductionist shit.
Well, let me tell you something, because I like always talking about this. The Democrats don't want to admit that they are practicing a pro-capitalist, I'll say semi-fascist, what I mean? Because, the Zionism is crazy, especially when they keep holding on to it. They just keep these ideals in their heads and they are brainwashed because they want to say, oh, we're pro-America, we're pro-democracy, but they always get cringy when a third party comes involved. You know what I mean? And this was literally a situation where there was no excuse at all whatsoever. When we ran Peter Gosselin against William Tong, I respected William Tong for Attorney General. The fact that he sat down at UConn with our candidate, Peter Gosselin. And Peter Gosselin got a hell of a lot of votes because of that. And because of how much he stayed around, going to funerals of people who were killed by police, staying involved with being a labor lawyer, all those things. And he was a Green Party candidate, and we backed him on the PSL, and we got him a lot of historic votes backing him. And it was so bad that, the Democrats were pissed. People that I knew were friends that were in the organizing spectrum was like, oh, you guys stole votes. That's what they told me. I said, well, maybe he just had a better message, But what are you complaining about? William Tong still won. What a Republican would have won. I don't give a fuck.
No,
I don't.
no.
We had. I don't know how to break this mentality, but the only way America could change, shit like that has to change. That mindset that there's only two parties has to change. You see what the right wing is doing? They came out with this stupid third party alternative, just trying to protect the system, just trying to save the system. Still do what we're doing, but more moralistic, more, less religious, But the left, they just, I don't know. I could go
Well,
on forever about that.
this is what I look at. This is how I look at the two-party system. The two-party system. This is the way I look at it. The Democrats of today are basically 1989 George Herbert Walker Bush Republicans who happens to be pro reproductive rights and relatively pro LGBTQ rights, which I am for the reproductive rights and the LGBTQ rights, but the 1989 George Herbert Walker Bush Republican shit is unacceptable. The Democrats are basically Ronald Reagan, like moderate Reagan Republicans. That's what they are. And
they're the right.
And the Republicans,
right.
And the Republicans today, they are basically a 21st century fascist party. I mean, they're
modern.
They're approaching Mussolini territory, and I call Donald Trump Protestant Pinochet. So I mean, it just that's where we're at in the country. The Overton window is so far to the right that they should advocate just a public option, or even a minimum wage increase. All of a sudden, you are a revolutionary communist in the eyes of Americans. It is just absolutely insane on how it doesn't take far to be a lot of effort to be considered a radical, hardcore leftist in the United States. I mean, it's just this is amazing. I mean, it's comical.
No, it is. No, it is, and it's just amazing how much they still believe in their shit, after everything that has changed. Like, this country is not what it used to be before COVID, and it's not used to be. This country is not what it used to be after COVID at all. After October the 7th, this country has changed dramatically, and they just don't want to learn. They still want to keep that old thing. They want to be corporatists and pro billionaires and all this stuff. They just don't want to go with the tide. And we're getting tired of the tide. Every working person is complaining about the same things: gas, groceries, cost of living. We're all coming together. And they are just refusing. We want Palestine free. They're just refusing. They're just no.
They won't give
in.
in.
Say no the different way. No.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I despise Matt Gaetz and the people from they're not called the Freedom Caucus in my eyes in the Republican Party. They are the anti-Freedom Caucus. But what do? They forced the vote on Kevin McCarthy and made Kevin McCarthy their little bitch. Right. Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema destroyed Build Back Better by forcing the vote on it. And going back to 2010, fucking Joe Lieberman up in Connecticut, the late Joe Lieberman. He forced the vote to prevent the one thing about the Affordable Care Act, which I would have probably reluctantly supported if it would have been allowed. That was to have a public option. Far less than what we would like, but it would have been a significant beginning, and it would have probably given us a fighting chance to have Medicare for all, possibly. Right. I'm on the fence about that, but I've gotten more radical than merely Medicare for all since those days. I mean, I favor it, but I favor the Cuban system, and I favor the UK system, which is essentially the same system. That's what we need to fight like hell for, really. But you're not going to win healthcare by whispering, we're going to fight for a public option. That's how Democrats are. I mean, they're weak as water.
Yeah,
We need a
and
fucking third party.
there was a comment that I saw about healthcare on my page somewhere. It was one of the posts, and the guy was basically arguing about how socialism is awful in Europe and all this stuff like that. And he said, "Yeah, you got to wait a month just to get an appointment." And I'm just like, okay, that excuse don't exist no more because I don't know about y'all, but the last few appointments that I had to make, they put that bitch 6 months out, 4 months out. like it's worse. And we have to pay. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So you
absolutely.
complaining about waiting a month. At that point, it just doesn't stink no more, my friend.
Yeah,
It
okay,
doesn't stink.
here's the thing about the waiting lines. It exists in some countries, depending on the countries. But you know what? The people, even if they have to wait, they they have access to care that the people in this country they have some sort of single payer system. What we have is pay or die. That's what we have here.
Right.
Them, they
Right.
have a single payer system, and so yeah. I mean, some universal healthcare systems are better than others, but I'd rather have what they have than what we have over here.
Exactly. Yep.
I mean, just yeah, what we have is unacceptable. I mean,
And it's
you got
just
to be
getting
insane.
worse and worse, especially
Status
with the cuts
quo
to
is
Medicaid that just happened.
yeah, you got to be insane to think that profit based healthcare is the way to go. That even Margaret Thatcher, who had the power to get rid of the NHS, and she's a bitch for what she did as the prime minister for the 10 years she was prime minister. She was an evil woman, but even she was more progressive on universal healthcare in the UK than Nancy fucking Pelosi is today. How sad that is.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, like
And now
Christopher
she's worth 25 million. That was interesting. I didn't know that.
Chris Head just said that if you stick the Democratic Party in any of the Western countries around the world, they'd be to the right of this of nearly every center right party. That's where
Yeah,
we're
and they
at.
get on my nerves. The right gets on my nerves when they do this because a lot of people really do believe them and feel that they, you know what I mean? And they're right on the Palestine issue. Not all of them. They're a little anti-Semitic as hell, but I get why people gear towards them because there's like, oh my God, did he change his mind? Did he fully understand what's going on? No, they're just trying to fix the system. They're just trying to fix capitalism. And I do appreciate, though, after giving my criticism, I will say I appreciate what Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing to shake up the right on talking about the Epstein files and not giving up on what's going on with Iran and all these things. I will give them that, but I don't expect any more else than that. It's one of those like, yeah, we agree on this, and clearly her kids got to her talking about the cost of living and everything because you could tell that she was bringing stuff up about that as well too. It's just very, very interesting. I'm just trying to figure out how can we get people to be even more radical and more understanding on the issues. Like, okay, you liked what Marjorie Taylor Greene said, but also how can we move forward? How can we do better? Because we don't want to still give these platforms to these right wingers, but they're popular. Like freaking Tucker Carlson drop one episode. What? It's like 5 million views or something like that. Like these guys are literally the algorithm, and that's why they're succeeding so much.
Well, I had Ron Placone here a couple of months ago on the show, and we talked about that. And it's okay to acknowledge that your Marjorie Taylor Greenes and your Tucker Carlsons and your Candace Owens and your Joe Kents are correct on certain issues, or they're finally seeing the light. Wonderful, but does not mean that the left needs to go toward them and embrace them. I mean, I love Medea Benjamin from Coping, but she said she was regretting seeing Marjorie Taylor Greene leaves Congress. She said, well, we need her. I understand what she was trying to say, but, and I don't really believe in her heart of heart she would support Marjorie Taylor Greene. I know she was saying it for just to make a point, but, AOC would be right to tell the left don't work with Marjorie Taylor Greene, because I fucking don't trust Marjorie Taylor Greene, even though she's sounding less insane than she used to. I mean, is she better than Laura Loomer? I mean, yeah, anybody is just about better than Laura Loomer, Lori, whatever the fuck her name is. But
the woman that went to Zelensky and apologized and made a whole, she's weird.
Do you know that she got the co-host of Revolutionary Change, Peter Hager, fired from his real estate job? Yeah.
No.
Yeah. He talked about it on the show. So he works in real estate, and she lives in Florida, and so she knew some of the people that he worked with, and because he was always on this thing about Palestine that offended her, and the woman that complains about, well, we don't know she's a woman. Candace Owens called her Larry Loomer for a reason, but
oh my God.
Yeah. Oh, believe me, I don't have a problem calling her Larry Loomer. I have no problem with Mark Levin micro penis, even though it came from Megyn Kelly. But the point I'm trying to make is that we're talking about somebody who yelled and complained and had a meltdown on Alex Jones years ago about how she got canceled. And the bitch goes around canceling people, getting them deplatformed, getting them fired, getting them doxxed. And I mean, and her father in real life has made it so that she will never be able to legally own a firearm. And she's been trying to own a gun, but she cannot legally own a firearm. And, I'm glad she can't own a firearm.
Yeah. She's people should look. She's a nutcase. But it's just very, very interesting because when you look at Marjorie Taylor Greene, I will expect the right to look and be like, oh, damn, Trump was acting like that to her. Like, you gotta see, it's not about the values or anything. It's all about me, Donald Trump. It's my empire. I'm the king. I run this, and if you don't like it, I don't care. I'm gonna go to McDonald's and leave y'all in a 3-hour waiting line so I can have my McDonald's because I'm the president. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't give a fuck.
Hey, I gotta go unplug my computer. Reality. I gotta unplug my computer. Hold on.
I actually thought he was in a vintage. I don't know why I thought that chandelier was actually real.
I mean, the fact, that Trump turning on Marjorie Taylor Greene and everything like that, and it shows you how staged this shit is, because the Jamie Raskin, the congressman from Pennsylvania, Maryland. I used to enjoy hearing him and Marjorie Taylor throw insults at each other online. I would go sit there and they would sit there and they would just like insult each other. It would be entertaining. But now that Trump turned on her, he's saying, oh, the Democratic Party is a big tent party. You can join Marjorie Taylor Greene. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, really? Really? If the Democratic Party has a big enough tent for Marjorie Taylor Greene, that's a tent that's just a little bit too big for me.
Yeah. It's just, we are in a shit show. We're in a shit show. What was your thoughts again about? Did we get into Washington election? How you feel about that?
About what? DC. I'm sorry.
Oh wait, did we talk about Cori Bush?
We did not talk about Cori Bush. But I'm willing to have a conversation about Cori Bush. I understand that she tried to get back her seat in the primaries and she was defeated again.
Yeah, I don't think the Democrats really wanted to push her. And people were giving criticism that she was only talking about the basics and global issues as well too. That Zionist got out with flying colors. Like he tore that race apart.
You know,
You know,
the
he
money,
won. He tore up.
you know, that APAC money, once it gets moving around, you know, just I mean, they'll sit there and destroy any candidate. And sometimes it's not just APAC in itself. Sometimes like going back to 2002 down in Georgia. Do you remember Cynthia McKinney?
Oh no. 2002. Oh
Yeah.
no.
Congresswoman Cynthia McKinney was one of the most left-wing members of the U.S. House of Representatives. I think she was in the
Mhm.
suburb of Atlanta, African
I'm gonna
American
have to
woman.
look into her.
Yeah, she was Green Party candidate in 2008, by the way.
Mhm.
But anyway, she joined the Green Party, but she was a Democrat member of Congress, and the corporate Democrats and Republicans got together after some gerrymandering to have her unseated because I mean she was one of the most radical voices in Congress, and I mean at that time is when Bernie was in the House, even though he was an independent, I would argue that Cynthia McKinney was actually to his left. So she was that good, and they made sure that they said things about her that were not true. They said things that she's anti-Semitic because her dad said something that could have been conveyed as anti-Semitic. It never came out of her mouth, but they were like, "Well, this is what she said." It's like, no, her father said that. Her father is a separate person from her, you know, and her father said something about some anti-gay things too. And again, that came out of his mouth. What comes out of a dad's mouth is different from what will come out of a daughter's mouth in a lot of cases, or your son's mouth, you know, and and how people kind of sat there and believe all this shit about her, and you know she was gerrymandered, and I think that they're probably going to probably start doing that to some of these left wing progressives. This is why I think AOC it has gotten a little bit kind of started eating crow because I think he fears getting gerrymandered or whatever. They did that to Dennis Kucinich's district back in 2012, I believe it was, and he got
Mhm.
forced out. So
Well,
they'll
you
go
know,
after you. They'll go after you.
yeah. I just, I understand why, but it's just like, Rosa Luxemburg got murdered violently by the Nazis when she tried to do everything she can as a elected official. Um, so I'm just like, I guess I just want a standard. Cori Bush, what she should have done is if she really wanted to win, she needed a very balanced agenda domestically for working people and also a little bit on uh national policy abroad because in that district, it's suburban, it's very right wing leaning. They're only going to focus on working class issues that they have. You gotta get them with that, and that's easy. I
Absolutely.
know she didn't get the money. I know she didn't get the money that she needed, but it's like also, I get it that you got a bad reputation, how you got put kicked out losing last time and stuff, and how APAC got rid of you using another black politician to replace you. But things like this, you gotta fight. You gotta get that Rosa Luxemburg type of spirit. Um, if you really like, I worry about you know people that follow Jamal Bowman and still follow Cori Bush because it doesn't seem. I don't know them personally, but I don't see that real dog in them. Like, they did good when they were sitting; they did their best, but I don't really see that dog in them. And like we need candidates that like Shama Shawant who has that dog in them. Like you want to be a winner. This is a race, and it's literally on our lives at this point. This is the depending on the working class well being. Like, no more. It's gloves off. Like, I'm tired of the lukewarmness.
So
Enough.
yeah. Here's the thing. Chuck, the Intergalactic UFO Show, which I highly recommend
What's
that
up, Chuck?
show. Yeah. What he says about Corey Bush applies to AOC and some of the others from the squad. Um, and including the original squad and the extended squad that got elected in 2020, which is what I do fear with the new wave of democratic socialists, that if they, with a lot of them going to inevitably win, um, you know, the original people in 2018 and 2020 will not get behind force to vote on Medicare for all, and they will not get behind the Medicare for all marches, what have you. And in fact, it was very discouraging that there were online left outfits like the Young Turks discouraging the Medicare for all marches, and
Yeah.
just and then
Well, they're weird.
and then calling Jimmy Dore, which I don't agree with Jimmy Dore and everything.
No, we don't agree with him.
Significantly less than I used to, anyway.
Yeah.
But the point I'm trying to make is that Jimmy Dore was correct about force to vote. He didn't invent the strategy, but he was correct on that. He was correct on the Medicare for all marches, and to fight the Democratic Party establishment, not sit there and seek approval, wanting to have Biden and Pelosi pat people on the head. The hell with that.
Yeah. Ilhan Omar, she keeps winning and staying in office for a reason. And they need to study her on why she's able to keep her seat. Because looking at her platform, it's exactly what I saw. Like, it's focusing on domestic, focusing on the issues and the real tide of what's going on that makes change. You know what I mean? You gotta have that working class balance. You have to. You can't just go with the generics. You have to have an understanding of both worlds, especially with Americans that don't really choose to pay attention to what's going on overseas at all. Palestine was the only thing that's very popular when it comes overseas for the past few years. That's it. That's the only thing you're going to get away with. That's it. No one's going to care. The majority, I do. No one's going to care about anything else. So you got to focus at home. And Ilhan Omar does that pretty fucking well, which is why she stays in her seat. You know what I mean? And she's fights more than ACO. So ACO don't even get an excuse, honestly, at all. ACO has no excuse.
No.
You know what I mean? Ilhan Omar's getting sprayed at and threatened to get her citizenship revoked, and they're lying on her, saying that she married her brother when her brother never even been to America. Really, he became a citizen in the UK, and last time I did research and checked, he's in South Africa now. Like, they have said a lot of things about this woman.
Yeah, I never believed that about Ilhan Omar. That's just. That's what they're going to do. They're going to when they start to smear people with the conspiracy theories and everything like that. And I mean, you have to kind of consider the source. Even when Obama was elected, you remember the birther conspiracy shit. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, and a lot of people don't even know who invented the birther conspiracy. When the Alex Jones and the Michael Savages out there were all claiming Obama is a secret born Kenyan Muslim and all of this. You know where that came from? It came from Hillary Clinton. It came from not Max Blumenthal, but his dad, Sidney Blumenthal. They were the ones that came up with the conspiracy theory about the birther, and all of that. And
her racist ass.
Yeah. So I mean, when I first saw that, I was like. I saw that. I mean, I didn't even know Hillary Clinton invented it back then, but I found out later that had Hillary Clinton's fingerprints all over that conspiracy theory. So,
I'm not surprised. She was, she's racist. I could go on and on about her.
Yeah.
I've met some people that met her, and I got some things, but I'm not going to say that right now.
Actually,
We don't have the time.
I met Bill Clinton, and I was impressed at the time in '92. But I look back.
No, he's a charismatic guy.
Yeah. I met him with I was
can-
in College Democrats. I shook his hand. We talked for about a minute, and then he, I thought, oh my God, what an honor, what an honor. But he wasn't even my first choice in the primary, so
right.
even back then, I discerned. But anyway, I know it's getting very close to 7:00 right now, so and you said you needed to be out of here. So do you have anything to
organizing never stops.
So where can we find you online, Jamar?
Yes, check me out on YouTube, Jabari Media, and everything else on platforms is Jabari Media, except for on Facebook, where it's Jabari Vlog Media, the original name, VLC, basically. Check me out, and please like, share, and subscribe. We are trying to get our subscribers up on YouTube. For some reason, we can get a lot of followers on other platforms. We're hitting 3K on almost everything, but we can't get YouTube to 3K for some reason, and we need that. We need that. Like, share, subscribe, please. Like, share, subscribe. And also like, share, subscribe to all these amazing shows that are in the chat right here. You got Extra Bola. Please like, share, subscribe to Willy Bragg Show. If you're new here, like, share, subscribe to Chuck UFO Show as well too. Watch these shows, man. Watch them.
I agree.
Watch them. You're getting honesty here. You're not getting $1 million teleprompter nonsense from the pseudo CIA outlets.
And everybody on my YouTube page, you can find Jamar Jabari's channel on my YouTube
in the
page.
undercurrent, yes.
And the undercurrent, yes, absolutely. You can find his channel on my YouTube page. Just scroll down, and you will see it with the other links. Go ahead, subscribe to it. Don't hesitate.
Yep. Thank you for having me. We'll see
All
you
right.
later.
Take it easy, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Everyone. Thank y'all for showing up on the Willy Bragg Show. Jamar, we'll catch up later, all right?
Yeah,
we will.
See you later, bro.
Everyone, thank you for showing up at the Willy Bragg Show. I have to go myself. Have to head on to work very early. So I want to say thank you for showing up tonight. And if you like what you heard, please press like and comment and share. We'll have conversations you like about it, whatever. And if you want to be on the show, here's the thing. Anybody here on that wants to be a guest on my show, just talk to me. If you follow me on Facebook, you follow me on Twitter, just contact me. I'll be glad we can make arrangements to have you on the show. I always love having guests. I just want to start saying that right there. So don't be shy if you want to come on the Willy Bragg Show. So and I also want to say that feel free to share any content I have on my channel. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it, because we are, in fact, the muckrakers of our time. Always reject corporate media. And, of course, subscribe to the Willy Bragg Show on all my platforms, and subscribe to Jamar Jabari. If you're friends with me on Facebook and Twitter, you'll find Jamar Jabari up there, too. So we're all friends, So, and remember, free all political prisoners, free Palestine, free healthcare for all, keep our First Amendment free, and remember, most importantly, right now, during this age of fascism, fuck ICE. Y'all take care. I will see y'all soon. Bye-bye.